tires because now they've got to conserve this time. That had been the plan all along, but we'll see how much they lost, guys.
It looked to me on the scoring monitor like it cost him about 3 seconds to Denny Hamlin, the amount of time he lost by missing pit road that first time.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, he lost another second or two trying to get in his pit when another car was leaving.
And he had to slow down.
He had to slow down. That cost him some time. There's the 41 car on pit road. He had been one of the cars that had remained on the lead lap after that restart, but now he falls a lap down.
And right side's only for Reed Sorensen.
We saw this work last night, Alan, in the ARCA race. Different tires, but the same track and the same mentality. 2 tires got the lead for Cale Gill last night. He was able to hold off Steve Wallace and win.
So now that the crew for Carl Edwards is taking just right side tires only, that pretty well puts Denny Hamlin's team in a box here.
Well, I think it might put everyone else in a box, but I think Denny has enough of a lead and enough of a cushion to where if he pits soon, now if he keeps running, he'll have to get 2, but if he pitted soon, he could get 4 tires and still remain in contact with Carl Edwards and maybe use that to an advantage and win the race. He's going to have to pit soon, though. He's losing time to Carl every lap right now.
Carl right now is a lap down to Hamlin. Lap and about a half a straightaway is all. So we'll keep an eye on this 20 car, see when he breaks for the pit road. Also Clint Boyer out there running about 3 seconds behind the leader right now in second place, and we'll see when he breaks for the pit road as well.
I just watched Carl, Alan. You see that gap right there? Yep. He was behind Boyer car going into turn 1. He passed him in turn 1 and put over a second on it. Look at that gap that he put on him in 1 turn. And so these tires that Carl has on right now are really helping his car. And you're right. When the 20 pits now, he's going to have to get 2 to stay in touch with Carl.
And the other thing is, the crew chief for Denny Hamlin, Dave Rogers, is walking that balance. Remember, last time we had a series of green flag pit stops, a caution came out before they were finished. He's balancing, trying to protect that, run as many laps as he can against the speed he's given up to Carl Edwards, who's got the fresher 2 tires.
And Carl is hauling. He's the fastest car on the track. He's running. He's visible. You can see him closing in on Denny. He's so much faster.
Talk about some tension on the crew chief.
That's what NASCAR racing is all about. There's not a right answer. You never know how the twists of fate are going to reach out and bite you.
Coming to the entrance to pit road once more, Hamlin will go by. And he'll come around and make it 17 laps to go. Denny Hamlin has led now 161 of the 183 laps that have been run tonight. It's not going to count if he doesn't lead the last one.
Well, his crew chief is really taking a chance here. This green flag stays out, Alan. He's going to come out well behind Carl Edwards.
Ralph?
The problem with the 99 is they are out of gas. David Rudiman has coasted the 99 to a stop. I'm struggling to see him to get it started up.
Wow.
And it's still not ready to go yet. What a great run they had with this car. Finally they get it going, but it has cost them terribly running that car out of gas.
Yeah, that was a top 5 finish, probably just evaporated there.
Rough day on pit road for that group.
Boy, I'll stay hard, buddy, stay hard.
All right, watching for the leader. Clint Boyer, second place on pit road. As Denny Hamlin continues on around. Ralph, here comes Boyer.
If Clint Boyer's going to have a shot at winning this race, he needs to get this car tightened up. That's been the problem he has been having so far tonight. He's in his pit box and needs to get this crew to make an adjustment to the car to get it where he needs it to be. And it looks like all they're going to do is do it through air pressure and maybe the feeling that just 2 tires is going to be enough to tighten him up the way he needs to be.
All right, Boyer's out. Now on the track, Carl Edwards unlapping himself from Denny Hamlin.
He ran him down the straightaway, Alan. How far ahead is Carl going to be when Denny pits if he gets 2 tires? Is Denny just planning on getting a splash of gas?
Might be.
But he's losing so much ground on the racetrack. I don't see how that'll work.
9.
So we'll see how long Hamlin waits till he pits. The David Ruderman car, the bad news continues, going to have a penalty for too many men over the wall. The 8th man doing work besides just servicing the driver, so he'll have to make a pass-through penalty. Here comes Hamlin, the leader, to the pits with 13 laps to go. I hope they're not superstitious.
Wow. I know Harvick is. He's got a bunch of 21s going on. Where's he running? You better watch him.
And he just pitted. Hamlin, I say 13 to go because he will click that over to 13 to go as he crosses the start-finish line on pit road.
Man, he looked awful fast through that first box, Alan. I hope he got that thing slowed down in time. But he could be toast right here. Yeah, Carl caught him a straightaway. Carl's pit stop was about 7 seconds. Let's see what Denny does.
All right, Ralph, here's the critical stop.
Oh, what a gamble this is going to be, Alan. Fuel only for the 20. That's it. And away he goes. Now, what adds to the stress on this call is the fact that he said over the radio, this is the tightest the car has been on a run so far tonight. It's not handling as good as it did anywhere throughout the course of the evening, and they're taking a huge gamble. They thought they were originally going to pit around lap 180. They took it all the way to 186 and only took fuel.
And there's the interval from Denny Hamlin back to Carl Edwards. We'll check it in terms of time as they cross the start-finish line. But that's the gap that Edwards has to try and make up again on the fresher tires.
Man, we just saw him make up a straightaway just 10 laps ago.
2.2 seconds in 12 laps.
I think that's going to happen in 5 laps.
We'll find out. Lindsay, how about Carl?
Carl and his crew have full confidence that he'll be able to do it. I just talked to his crew chief, Pierre Cutel, and I said, does he have what it takes to get past Hamlin? And he said, I absolutely think it does. I said, what is the strategy now become? And he said, well, there's no possible way that Hamlin can afford to take tires, so we're going to beat him that way.
And that's the call, you know. The 60 car forced the 20 car's hand, and the 20 car didn't pit. They said, we think we might catch a caution, or we think we can win on gas and go. It'll be interesting to see, but Carl's closing.
It was 2.2 seconds with 12 to go. With 11 to go, it was 1.8 seconds.
That's enough to do it. That's enough extra speed. Huh? I did the math.
Ralph, how about the leader?
The frustration under the helmet of Denny Hamlin is growing. He just chimed in on the radio. Man, it is so incredibly tight. This is not the race car Denny Hamlin was hoping to have to battle with 10 laps to go. And guys, we talked about it earlier, when the driver's quiet, all is good. Now, Michael, he's feeling the frustration, and he sees the 60 coming in the rearview mirror.
Yep, and it's going to happen in a hurry.
Carl Edwards took 0.6 of a second off of Denny Hamlin last lap. Now it's just car lengths. He might get him before this lap's over.
Look at that. That just goes to show you how pit strategy. Remember what we said earlier, how many twists and turns you have to take in order to win one of these silly races? I bet you Denny is hot. He says, I'm going to block the bottom and cross it. Take it anywhere you want, brother.
New leader, Carl Edwards. These Missouri fans going crazy in the grandstand. Just over 8 laps to go for Carl Edwards.
But there's just over 8 laps to go. And if the caution comes out now, some of these guys shoot to pit road. Ooh, it'd be crazy.
Oh. What a race of ups and downs. The green flag, pit stops followed by the caution flag, the pit stop problems both these drivers had earlier, then the tremendous hard-fought racing between the two, back and forth, trading the lead.
And you know, and Pierre looks like a genius now. He stopped early, got 2 tires, forced Denny's hand. Denny didn't respond. What if the caution comes out during the time in which Carl had pitted and Denny didn't? Then all of a sudden, Pierre looks like a Dumbo. I mean, you can't tell what's going to happen.
More on Carl from Lindsay.
Well, Pierre just got on the radio to Carl and said, Carl, you got the car exactly where you want to be. Hang tight, just finish it up.
Well, I think Carl's in that mode right now. He understands that barring a caution, he just has to keep it between the fences. He also understands that if a caution comes out, Pierre better be ready to make another decision in a hurry.
See Carl Edwards running right behind David Green. 27 car, last car on the lead lap, 7th place. Nice drive tonight for the former champion Green.
He was very confident about his car. We talked to him before the race, and he felt like he was going to have a good night, and he was right. He's been real steady. Getting ready to go a lap down here with just 6 laps to go.
Carl Edwards came into this race second in the championship, a mile behind Kevin Harvick. He's not going to gain a lot of ground tonight as Harvick runs in 6th place. Pierre Cattell told me where the championship is concerned, at this point in the year, all we can do is the best we can do each week and just see what happens. The best they can do tonight has been great.
They will gain some points, obviously, on Harvick, more than they usually do.
Yeah.
Usually Harvick's around, if he doesn't win, he's in the top 5, and he might still get there. Right now he's running 6th.
It's been kind of a big week for Carl Edwards. We talked about him being a pilot. Earlier this week, he was up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the EAA Air Venture. It's kind of the nation's big airplane convention for pilots and plane people. Carl got to fly in an F-18, a fighter jet, a DC-3, one of the old Douglas airplanes, and a Ford Tri-Motor. Said it was, and flew in Jack Roush's P-51 with Jack. Said it was a tremendous experience when I talked to him about it this morning. Came here relaxed, refreshed, ready to race, very excited about performing before his home state fans. Does own a home in Columbia, Missouri, the home he grew up in. Said that he's been spending more time there this year than he had in previous years as he's better learned how to manage the demands of being an XL Cup driver and the scheduling that goes along with it. And he's 2.5 laps away from a victory. I hate to go to the point, but these fans are going to flip out. Along with him.
I hope they don't hurt themselves trying to flip out like he does.
2 laps to go.
And the fans are on their feet, cheering, happy about what they're fixing to see, they think. Just remember, there's 2 laps to go. I've seen these drivers mess up with less to go.
Going to put a lap on Aaron Crocker in the 98. He's done a very solid job tonight.
A really good job. I'm real proud of Aaron tonight. She's top 20. That's not easy to do, and she's been steady and stayed out of trouble and just real consistent. And Carl falls in behind her there and takes the white flag.
Final lap here in St. Louis tonight for Carl Edwards of Columbia, Missouri. Looking for his 4th NASCAR Busch Series win of the season. A tremendous fight between he and Denny Hamlin, but Carl's crew got the strategy right, got him out in position to take advantage of fresh tires and speed to get by Hamlin and take the lead with 9 laps to go. Final corner coming up. And the checkered flag is up for Carl Edwards, a very popular win. He takes tonight's Busch Silver Celebration 250.
What's the battle for second?
Hamlin and Boyer for second spot. It looks like Boyer nipped him by 1,000th of a second.
Wow. That's
incredible.
That's adding insult to injury, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He didn't need that aggravation right before he got ready to get out of the car.
I'll tell you how much those 3 guys were the class of the field. We were still waiting to see 4th place Reed Sorensen take the checkered flag. He's just done it now.
And you have to realize that Reed was a lap down, or on the tail end of the lead lap, and he was able to run all the way around back up to a 4th place finish. And Harvick, another top 5.
Yeah, came home with 5th. These fans know what they're waiting to see. You saw Carl Edwards already reaching to get those driving gloves off.
What a popular win this is. Fireworks going off, crew members jumping the wall, thousands of,
listen to that roar,
race fans that can't wait to see this man hop out of this car and do his deal. Look at everybody standing back. That might have been the best one yet. Definitely one of the most energetic ones. How can you not be pumped up, Alan, listening to all these fans show their appreciation?